Have you ever wondered why you were born with a hunger for more, even when you try to convince yourself you should be content with less? That restless feeling inside you is not greed, it is a signal. It is the whisper of destiny reminding you that you were never meant to live hidden, unnoticed, or forgotten. Deep down, you know you carry something greater. You know there is a stage prepared for you, and wealth will be one of the tools God uses to place you where the world can finally see you. Wealth is not only about money. Wealth is influence, wealth is impact, wealth is having enough so that you can reach beyond survival and step into purpose. Too many people silence themselves because they think their voice doesn't matter. But when God places wealth in your hands, He is also giving you a platform. He is saying, now they will hear you. Now they will see what I placed inside you long ago. And this is why you cannot settle for small dreams or allow fear to trap you in mediocrity. You are being prepared for a moment when abundance will no longer just be a dream, but a doorway into your true calling. Think about it. Throughout history, those who shook the world did not hide in the shadows of lack. They stood in the light of provision. They had the resources to move mountains, to build, to give, and to lead. When God gives you wealth, it is not just for you. It is so that the hidden treasures of your character, your talents, your voice, and your vision will finally be revealed to the world. Poverty hides potential. Abundance exposes it, and your time is coming when everything you have carried in silence will no longer be ignored. But here is the truth. Many people run from wealth because they fear responsibility, judgment, or failure. They tell themselves it is safer to remain small. Yet safety is the enemy of destiny. God does not elevate you so you can hide. He elevates you so you can shine. He equips you not only with resources, but with courage, wisdom, and resilience. When you step into that season of abundance, it is not luck. It is alignment. It is the moment when your preparation meets God's provision. Stay with me, because if you truly believe this message, it can awaken a new fire inside you. Every obstacle you have faced, every delay, every closed door was not punishment. It was training. It was God building your patience, shaping your character, teaching you how to handle what is coming. Wealth without wisdom destroys, but wealth given to someone who has endured, who has grown, who has been humbled, becomes a weapon of transformation. That is why you must not give up now. You are closer than you think. Imagine the day when your story inspires millions, when your generosity changes lives, when your influence opens doors not just for you, but for countless others. That day will come because God has already chosen you to carry it. And if you keep watching, if you keep listening, you will discover how to walk into that destiny. You will see why wealth is not just about money. It is about being introduced to the world in the way you were always meant to be seen. Stay with me, because your moment is on the horizon, and this message will prepare you to step into it with boldness. Wealth is a language, and when God places it in your hands, the world is forced to listen. People who once overlooked you will lean in. Doors that once remained shut will open wide. Opportunities that seemed reserved for others will suddenly be placed in your path. This is not because money itself holds the power, but because wealth reveals what has been hidden within you all along. The greatness planted in your spirit cannot stay invisible when God elevates you through abundance. You may feel unnoticed right now, as though your efforts go unseen and your potential lies buried under struggle. But that is not the final chapter of your story. There is a divine sequence unfolding. Seasons of waiting are not seasons of waste. Every long night, every silent prayer, every sacrifice has been adding weight to your character, preparing you for the moment when wealth will magnify your presence. The platform is being built, even if you cannot see it yet. And when the moment comes, it will seem sudden to others, but you will know it was years in the making. Do not confuse humility with hiding. True humility does not mean shrinking yourself or denying what God has placed inside you. It means recognizing that every blessing is meant to serve a higher purpose. When you rise, others rise with you. When you are introduced to the world, the impact of your journey touches thousands, even millions. That is why God chooses to use wealth as a tool. It gets the world's attention, but it is your spirit, your voice, and your vision that leave the mark. Psychologists call it the principle of visibility. Human beings naturally pay attention to what stands out, what shines brighter, what carries weight. For too long, you may have been overlooked because lack made you invisible. But God is about to clothe you in visibility. He is about to give you the resources that make the world stop and take notice. And once they notice, they will see the truth of who you are, the depth of your character, and the fire of your calling. There will be resistance. There will be voices that question your worth, people who doubt your purpose, and even moments when you wonder if you are truly ready. But that is where faith steps in. Faith silences doubt by reminding you that you are not stepping into wealth for your own glory, but for the glory of the one who sent you. Wealth without God is noise, but wealth with God is a testimony. It becomes a signal that announces not just your arrival, but his faithfulness. Do not let fear convince you that you are unworthy. Do not let past failures chain you to the ground. Every mistake, every setback has been part of the refining. You are not disqualified. You are being strengthened. And when the world sees you rise, when they see what God has poured into your hands, they will not just see success, they will see evidence. Evidence that God still lifts the forgotten. Evidence that purpose is stronger than circumstance. Evidence that faith always wins. Your life is not meant to end in obscurity. The stage of destiny is waiting for you. Wealth will not change who you are. It will reveal who you have always been. And as that revelation unfolds, the world will recognize the gift that has been hidden inside you all along. When God chooses to introduce you to the world, he does not do it quietly. He does it in a way that no one can deny. Wealth is one of his instruments because it speaks a universal language. It cuts through doubt, it silences excuses, and it draws attention even from those who once dismissed you. But what will keep the world listening is not the wealth itself. It is the strength of the person who carries it. This is why your inner growth has mattered just as much as your external preparation. Without character, wealth becomes a cage. With character, wealth becomes a weapon of light. There's something powerful about visibility. Human psychology responds differently to those who walk in abundance. People are wired to follow those who project strength, certainty, and provision. When you step in that realm, others will naturally look to you for leadership. But leadership is not about domination. It is about service. It is about using what you have been given to lift others. The higher you rise, the more responsibility rests on your shoulders. And this is why God has not rushed your process. He has been building the depth inside you so that when the spotlight finds you, you will not collapse under its weight. Every hidden season has been shaping you. Every unseen struggle has been carving resilience into your spirit. Think about it. If you had been handed wealth too soon before you were ready, would you have been able to carry it with wisdom, or would it have consumed you? This is why delay is often protection. You are being fortified so that when the world finally sees you, they will not just see flashes of success. They will see a life anchored in purpose, unshaken by storms. There will be those who misunderstand. Some will think your elevation is only about money, but you will know the truth. Wealth will simply be the microphone through which your real message is amplified. And what is that message? That God still raises the overlooked, that faith still rewrites stories, that no obstacle is strong enough to bury destiny. When you carry that truth, your wealth becomes more than a resource. It becomes a testimony, a declaration that inspires hope in countless hearts. The greatest tragedy is not poverty itself, but the acceptance of poverty as identity. Too many live as though lack is their permanent address, but you are being called higher. You are being prepared for abundance, not so you can boast, but so you can prove what is possible when someone refuses to surrender their vision. Wealth in your hands is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter where your influence multiplies. Let this truth sink deep into your spirit. You were created to be seen, not for vanity, not for pride, but for impact. God has placed something inside you that the world needs. And when he releases wealth into your life, it will not just change your surroundings. It will change how the world hears you, how they receive you, how they follow the path you set before them. You will become living proof that destiny cannot be denied. And when that day comes, you will step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The moment you step into wealth with God's hand upon you, everything around you begins to shift. The way people look at you changes. The way opportunities align changes. Even the way you see yourself begins to transform. Not because money itself has changed you, but because wealth reveals what God already placed inside you. It brings to the surface strengths you did not know you carried. It awakens boldness that was buried under fear. It positions you in rooms where your voice finally echoes with authority. This is the power of divine introduction. When God uses wealth, he is not just adding to your life, he is unveiling you to the world. Psychology teaches us that human beings are drawn to signals of strength, stability, and provision. People trust what appears established. They follow what feels unshakable. When God blesses you with abundance, it becomes a signal. It says to the world, here is someone prepared, here is someone equipped, here is someone carrying influence worth listening to. But what truly keeps that influence alive is not the wealth itself, it is your authenticity. The world may be drawn to the light of your provision, but they will stay because of the fire of your character. This is why your hidden seasons were so important. Every closed door, every moment of being overlooked, every silent battle was God forging in you the strength that will sustain you when the spotlight arrives. Without endurance, the pressure of visibility can crush a person. With endurance, the same pressure becomes fuel that drives transformation. And that is what you are being prepared for. The kind of wealth that does not break you, but broadcasts the fullness of your purpose. There is a reason your journey has been longer than you expected. There is a reason you had to fight through resistance, doubt, and loss. It was never punishment. It was positioning. God has been aligning you not only with wealth, but with wisdom. Without wisdom, wealth becomes noise. With wisdom, wealth becomes a voice that carries far beyond your reach. And when the world finally sees you rise, they will not only see success, they will see resilience, they will see faith, they will see a living testimony of what happens when someone refuses to quit. The human heart responds to testimony more than theory. People do not just want to hear what is possible, they want to see it alive in someone else. That is why God will use you as proof. When wealth comes into your life, it will not be random. It will be purposeful. It will validate the struggles you endured. It will validate the faith you held on to. It will validate the vision you refused to let die. Others will look at you and realize that their own breakthrough is possible because your life will stand as undeniable evidence. Do not underestimate the power of being seen. Visibility is not vanity when it is driven by destiny. The light God places on you will not glorify you alone. It will glorify the one who carried you through every valley. That is the deeper purpose of wealth in your life. It introduces you not just as a person of means, but as a vessel of meaning. And once the world recognizes that, your influence will outlive your possessions, your voice will outlast your presence, and your purpose will shine brighter than any material thing you hold. There is a reason wealth is such a powerful instrument in the hands of God. It captures attention in a world that often refuses to listen to anything else. But when he entrusts it to you, it is not to distract people with glitter. It is to direct them to greatness. The resources placed in your hands are not random. They are strategic. They are meant to pull you out of the shadows of obscurity and set you where your influence can no longer be ignored. Wealth becomes the stage, but you are the message. And when the world finally sees you, they will not just see prosperity, they will see purpose. Every breakthrough has a ripple effect. When you rise, you don't rise alone. Your elevation becomes a mirror in which others see their own possibilities. This is why you cannot shrink from the calling on your life. When you are introduced to the world, it is not just about you being noticed. It is about others realizing that God can also lift them, that they too have something powerful waiting to be revealed. Your success becomes their hope, your abundance becomes their courage, your testimony becomes their proof. But you must be ready to carry this weight. Attention is not light, influence is not easy. Visibility requires strength that only comes from endurance and humility. Many chase wealth for recognition, but when recognition comes without divine preparation, it devours the one who holds it. You have been chosen for something greater. That is why your process has been different, why your waiting has been longer, why your tests have been harder. You are being equipped to stand not just for a moment, but for a lifetime of impact. Psychology tells us that people remember what stirs their emotions more than what informs their minds. This is why your story, combined with your success, will carry a power far deeper than material gain. Wealth will draw their eyes, but your authenticity will touch their hearts. The world is desperate for realness, desperate for leaders who stand not in pride, but in purpose. That is why God is refining you in the hidden place. so that when the curtain rises, what they see is not a performance, but the truth of a transformed life. Do not fear the responsibility of being seen. Fear is the chain that keeps countless people locked in smallness, but you are not called to remain small. The gifts inside you are too significant to stay hidden. Wealth will unlock visibility, but courage will sustain it. And courage is born from faith, the unshakable belief that you are not standing in your own strength, but in the strength of the one who chose you. When you walk in that faith, nothing the world throws at you can silence your impact. Your life is moving toward a moment when silence will end and your voice will carry. It is a moment when God will take everything you have endured, everything you have sacrificed, everything you have prayed for, and wrap it in abundance that cannot be ignored. And when that day comes, you will understand that this was never just about being noticed. It was about being positioned to influence, positioned to give, positioned to reveal to the world the power of a life aligned with divine purpose. When God brings wealth into your life, He is not only elevating your circumstances, He is elevating your influence. He is making you visible to those who need what you carry. Wealth is the amplifier, but what it amplifies is your essence, your values, your convictions, your unshakable faith. The world is drawn to success, but it is transformed by substance. That is why your preparation has been so intense. God is ensuring that when wealth places you on display, what people encounter is not emptiness dressed in abundance, but depth, integrity, and truth shining through prosperity. There is a psychological principle known as authority bias. People naturally place greater trust in those who appear established and secure. This is not because they are shallow, but because human beings are wired to follow strength. When God blesses you with wealth, it establishes you as someone others instinctively pay attention to. But unlike those who use authority for self-gain, you will use it to serve, to guide, and to inspire. Your influence will not be rooted in ego, but in the evidence of what God has done in your life. This is why you cannot despise the seasons of obscurity. You may have felt overlooked, unseen, and forgotten, but in those moments, God was chiseling you into someone who could carry more than applause. He was building the kind of strength that wealth alone could never provide. Now, as you are prepared for elevation, understand that the spotlight will not expose you. It will reveal you. It will reveal resilience forged through hardship, wisdom birthed through waiting, and courage tested in fire. The world will not just see what you have, they will see who you have become. And this matters deeply because influence without authenticity is fragile. People can sense when success is hollow. They can sense when wealth is nothing more than a mask. But they are also drawn powerfully to authenticity. They lean into voices that carry both strength and sincerity. This is why your journey has been marked by struggle. It was producing sincerity, stripping away pride, and preparing you to shine with authenticity once the abundance arrives. When God introduces you to the world, it will not be a performance. It will be proof that His timing is perfect, proof that His promises are real, proof that His hand never fails. Do not underestimate the weight of what you are stepping into. You are not just being introduced for applause, you are being introduced for assignment. Wealth will position you, but purpose will direct you. When the world sees you rise, they will not only be drawn to your success, they will be guided by your example. They will see in your life a pathway forward, evidence that faith can break chains, that perseverance can open doors, that alignment with God can take someone from silence to significance. Let this reality anchor you. The day is coming when the resources in your hand will match the vision in your heart. That is not coincidence. It is divine alignment. And when it happens, you will know that every tear, every delay, every hidden season was worth it because it prepared you to not only carry wealth, but to embody the message God wants the world to hear through you. Your introduction will not just mark your arrival. It will ignite transformation in everyone who witnesses it. The moment wealth aligns with your destiny, it becomes more than currency. It becomes credibility. In a world that often judges by what it can see, wealth is the visible sign that forces people to pay attention. But what they will discover when they look closer is far greater than material gain. They will encounter the depth of your story, the resilience of your journey, and the unshakable truth that God's hand has been guiding you all along. That is why this season is sacred. You are not just being lifted, you are being revealed. Think of the weight of this truth. For years, you have carried dreams that others could not see. You have carried vision that others doubted. You have carried purpose that felt hidden in silence. And yet nothing has been wasted. Every unseen effort, every quiet sacrifice, every tear in the dark has been part of the unveiling. Now the abundance that is coming is not random, it is intentional. It is the stage upon which your inner greatness will finally be displayed. And when it shines, the world will not only see what you have achieved, they will see the endurance that made it possible. Psychologists speak of the power of social proof, the tendency of people to believe something when they see undeniable evidence. Your life is about to become that evidence. People who once dismissed faith as fantasy will see your story and be confronted with reality. They will see that persistence is stronger than failure, that hope outlasts despair, and that divine timing cannot be stopped by human doubt. Your wealth will be the spotlight, but your journey will be the message. Together, they will stand as proof that God still moves mountains. This is why it is dangerous to think small. The world may try to convince you to settle, to accept less, to hide your light so others are not made uncomfortable. But shrinking does not serve your destiny. Playing small does not inspire the world. You were not designed to blend in. You were designed to stand out. And when God introduces you through wealth, He is not asking for permission from anyone. He is declaring to the world that your time has come, that your purpose is ready, that your influence will no longer be silenced. Yet remember this, wealth is not the reward, it is the responsibility. The true reward is the lives you will touch, the hope you will ignite, the change you will set in motion. That is the reason God is preparing you so carefully. He knows the impact you will carry once the resources flow into your hands. He knows the weight of influence you are about to step into. And He knows that your heart, tested and refined, will use wealth not as a throne, but as a tool for transformation. So let your spirit rise with expectation. You are not waiting in vain. You are not forgotten, and you are not overlooked. You are being prepared for a divine unveiling. And when the world sees you, when they finally witness the fullness of who you are, they will not only see prosperity, they will see power. They will see the undeniable truth that God can take someone hidden in obscurity and place them in a position of influence that changes everything. The introduction God is preparing for you is not meant to be temporary. It is not a fleeting moment of recognition that fades with time. It is a positioning, a permanent shift in the way the world perceives you and the way you perceive yourself. Wealth is the tool He will use to place you in that position, but purpose is what will keep you there. Purpose gives your rise meaning, and meaning gives your influence longevity. Without it, success crumbles under pressure. With it, success becomes legacy. For too long, you may have lived under the weight of doubt, wondering if the promises spoken over your life would ever materialize. But doubt is not truth. It is only the echo of fear trying to silence destiny. What you must hold on to now is certainty. Certainty that every delay has been part of divine alignment. Certainty that you have been refined, not rejected. Certainty that when wealth comes into your hands, it will not destroy you, but display you. God does not prepare in vain, and He does not elevate without intention. When people finally witness your rise, they will see more than achievement. They will see alignment. They will see that what you carry is not the product of chance, but the result of calling. And calling cannot be manufactured. It can only be revealed. This is why your story will resonate so deeply. It will bypass the surface and reach the heart. Because at the core, people are not looking for perfection. They are searching for proof that breakthrough is real, that transformation is possible, that destiny can survive even the darkest storms. Wealth becomes the frame, but you are the masterpiece inside it. The frame may capture attention, but it is the masterpiece that moves hearts. Your authenticity, your resilience, your faith will speak louder than any possession you hold, and the world hungry for something real will not be able to look away. They will sense the difference between empty success and purposeful abundance. They will be drawn not only to what you have, but to who you are becoming. This is why fear must no longer guide your steps. Fear whispers that you are not enough, that you will fail, that visibility will expose your flaws. But faith declares that you are already chosen, that you are already prepared, that God's strength will cover every weakness. Faith shifts your perspective from anxiety to expectation. And expectation is powerful. It keeps you moving, it keeps you believing, it keeps you ready for the very moment when everything changes. Do not minimize the magnitude of what is about to unfold in your life. This is bigger than recognition, bigger than applause, bigger than wealth itself. This is about destiny taking its rightful place. When God introduces you to the world through abundance, it is a declaration that no force could keep you hidden, no obstacle could bury your purpose, no delay could cancel your future. It is the unveiling of everything you were created to be. And when it happens, you will know beyond doubt that this was never about being noticed. It was always about being positioned to transform lives on a scale far greater than you could ever imagine. The world will respond to wealth because it signals capability, but what they will remember, what will truly impact their lives, is the way you carry it. The way you carry abundance reveals your character, your heart, and the depth of your purpose. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate strength with humility, power with integrity, and influence with compassion. This is why God has been cultivating your inner life long before the resources arrive. He is ensuring that when wealth positions you in the spotlight, you will shine not for vanity, but as a beacon for others to follow. You may have wondered why your journey has been longer than others, why doors seemed closed when your heart was ready, why opportunities delayed their arrival. It is because preparation precedes promotion. Every quiet moment, every setback, every season of being unseen has been an essential part of shaping your resilience. You are not delayed, you are being fortified. You are being equipped to step into abundance with a level of wisdom, patience, and courage that will allow you not only to rise, but to remain steady when the world's eyes are upon you. When wealth comes, it will amplify everything already within you. It will magnify your strengths, your voice, and your influence. But it will also expose your weaknesses if you have not been refined. That is why the preparation of your heart is more critical than the preparation of your bank account. Wealth without wisdom can mislead, misdirect, and even destroy. Wealth paired with character becomes unstoppable. It becomes a channel through which God can impact countless lives, a tool for transformation that reaches far beyond what you could achieve alone. Psychology tells us that people are inspired by examples of possibility. When they see someone rise against the odds, overcome hardship, and maintain integrity while achieving success, they experience a shift. They begin to believe that their own dreams are possible. That is exactly what God intends for your life. He is positioning you not just for visibility, but for influence. Your story, your abundance, your authenticity, all of it will converge to spark hope in hearts that have long been dormant. You cannot underestimate the power of being seen in alignment with purpose. Visibility alone is fleeting, but visibility combined with intention leaves a lasting mark. When the world sees you, it will witness not just wealth, but evidence of perseverance, proof of faith, and manifestation of destiny. People will recognize that what you hold in your hands was not earned by chance or luck, but by alignment with God's plan. And that recognition will inspire them to seek the same alignment in their own lives. Every fear that whispers you are not ready is a lie meant to hold you back. Your readiness is not determined by circumstance, but by preparation. Every lesson learned in struggle, every moment of patience, every act of faith has been building the foundation for your introduction. Wealth will open doors, but your heart will keep them open. Your purpose will fill the room, and your influence will extend beyond what you can even imagine. The world is waiting, and your time to step fully into it is closer than you realize. The wealth God is preparing to place in your hands is not an end. It is a vehicle. It is a vehicle for your influence, your purpose, and your calling. It will open doors that were previously closed and give weight to your voice in a world that often ignores the quiet and the overlooked. But this wealth will demand more than skill or ambition. It will demand a heart aligned with integrity, a vision anchored in faith, and courage willing to stand when the spotlight comes. The world responds to abundance, but it is transformed by character, and God has been building yours with precision. You have carried dreams that others could not see. You have nurtured visions while the world doubted. You have persevered when silence seemed endless and when recognition felt impossible. Each of those moments has been a layer of preparation, shaping you into someone capable of receiving more than just wealth. You are being prepared to receive influence, authority, and the opportunity to make an indelible impact. Your waiting has been a crucible, forging resilience that will not bend under the pressures of visibility. Understand this: human attention is fleeting, but influence is enduring. When wealth flows into your life, people will notice first what they can see: the resources, the success, the change in circumstances. But the deeper impact will come from who you are at your core. Your authenticity, your perseverance, and your unwavering faith will speak louder than any asset. That is why every hidden struggle, every late night prayer, and every quiet sacrifice has mattered. They have prepared you to carry not just wealth, but weight, the weight of responsibility, the weight of influence, and the weight of destiny. Psychology tells us that people follow examples of possibility. When they witness someone rise above odds that seemed insurmountable, they begin to believe in their own potential. That is the divine purpose behind your upcoming elevation. Your life is becoming a living testament, a proof that faith, resilience, and alignment with God can break every barrier. Your wealth will make the world look, your character will make the world pause, listen, and take notice of the power of alignment with God's plan. Do not shrink from this calling. Visibility and influence can feel intimidating, but fear is not the measure of readiness. Faith is. Faith will sustain you when the world's eyes are upon you, when expectations rise, and when pressure intensifies. Fear will whisper lies about inadequacy, but faith will declare that you have been prepared for this moment. Every trial, every delay, every challenge has equipped you with the strength to handle not just wealth, but the responsibility and opportunity it brings. Let this sink deep into your spirit. Your introduction to the world is imminent, and it will be transformative. Wealth will signal your arrival, but it will be your character, purpose, and faith that will leave a lasting impression. People will not only see that God has lifted you, they will see that He can lift anyone who refuses to give up. This is more than recognition. It is the unveiling of your destiny. It is your time to be seen, to be heard, and to become a living example of what alignment with God can accomplish. The world is ready, and so are you. When God positions you with wealth, He is positioning you with authority. Not the kind of authority that commands out of fear, but the kind that inspires, that moves hearts, that compels people to follow because they see something genuine, something real. Wealth draws attention, but authenticity earns respect. The world can notice success, but it can only be transformed by substance. This is why the unseen seasons of your life were essential. They were not obstacles. They were the refining fire preparing you to carry influence with wisdom, humility, and courage. You may have questioned whether your efforts mattered, whether your prayers were heard, or whether your dreams were too big. Those doubts are normal, but they are not your final reality. Every delay, every challenge, every closed door was a rehearsal for impact. God was teaching you patience, discipline, and discernment. He was shaping the mindset that will allow you not just to receive wealth, but to wield it with purpose. When you step into that realm, your life will demonstrate that abundance without alignment is empty, and that prosperity married to purpose creates transformation that extends far beyond personal gain. Think about what happens when someone rises from obscurity to visibility. The moment they are seen, the world reacts. People pay attention, doors open, opportunities emerge. But the real power is not in being noticed. It is in how you respond to that notice. If you respond with faith, integrity, and clarity, the world is changed. Your rise becomes proof. Proof that challenges do not define you, that setbacks are temporary, and that alignment with God is unstoppable. Wealth is the signal, but your character is the message. Psychologists have observed that people are influenced by examples they can relate to and aspire toward. When they see someone who has faced similar struggles, endured similar trials, and remained faithful, it ignites hope. That is the unique power of your forthcoming elevation. You will not only capture attention, you will inspire action. People will look at your life and realize that their own obstacles do not have to hold them back. They will see in your rise a reflection of what faith, resilience, and perseverance can produce. Do not allow fear to diminish your readiness. Fear whispers that you are unworthy, that you are unprepared, that the responsibility will crush you. But faith reminds you that preparation has been constant, that every trial has been essential, and that you are exactly where you need to be. You have been strengthened in ways that will sustain you when the spotlight shines. The world is waiting for your arrival, and it is waiting to witness not just your wealth, but the wisdom, character, and purpose that accompany it. Understand that your introduction is more than a personal milestone. It is a catalyst. Wealth will make your presence known, but it will be your actions, your generosity, and your integrity that will leave a lasting imprint. People will see that God does not just elevate for recognition. He elevates to reveal purpose, to inspire faith, and to transform communities. Your rise is imminent. Your platform is being prepared, and your impact will be undeniable. This is your moment to step fully into the destiny you were created to fulfill, to be seen, heard, and felt in ways that will echo far beyond what you can imagine. The power of wealth in God's hands is not just in what it can buy, it is in what it can reveal. It reveals your readiness, your resilience, and the depth of your character. It exposes your faith and amplifies your influence. The world will notice the abundance, but they will be changed by the person who carries it. That is why every moment of preparation, every season of waiting, every trial you have endured matters. You have been refined so that when visibility comes, you will not only stand, you will lead, inspire, and transform. Do not underestimate the effect of being positioned for impact. Wealth is a language the world understands. It signals capability, authority, and readiness, but the true power is in how you wield it. Those who rise only to elevate themselves leave behind emptiness. Those who rise with purpose leave behind transformation. You are being prepared to rise with purpose, to use every resource, every opportunity, and every connection to expand influence that matters. Your visibility will not be shallow. It will carry weight, meaning, and the potential to spark hope in countless lives. Every closed door, every moment of being overlooked, and every challenge you face has been a part of this preparation. The world often measures success by speed, but God measures by alignment. What you have endured has built endurance, shaped character, and instilled wisdom. When wealth enters your life, it will not be accidental or random. It will be the tangible sign that you have been prepared for impact, that the time of waiting has ended, and that your platform is ready. What you hold in your hands will not only benefit you, it will become a channel through which countless others are elevated, inspired, and encouraged. Psychology shows us that people are drawn to examples of possibility. When they see someone who has endured, who has remained faithful, and who steps into prominence with integrity, they feel hope stirring within them. That is the significance of your elevation. Your life is becoming the proof others have been searching for. Your faith, discipline, and perseverance will ignite belief in those who once doubted. Your rise will remind them that breakthrough is real, that purpose cannot be postponed, and that God's timing is perfect. Fear will try to whisper lies to your spirit. It will question your worthiness, your preparedness, and your ability to handle what is coming. But the truth is that every moment of your life has been equipping you for this exact point. Fear loses its power in the presence of preparation and faith. You have been ready to receive abundance, to step into influence, and to command attention in a way that aligns with God's plan. Your readiness is proven not by the absence of struggle, but by the strength you have developed through it. Let this settle deeply in your soul. Wealth will place you on a platform, but purpose will define the legacy you leave. People will notice what you have, but they will be transformed by who you are. When you rise, your story will echo further than money ever could. Your influence will outlast any material gain. Your life will stand as evidence that God does not elevate without intention, that He does not prepare without purpose, and that every trial, delay, and struggle has been part of shaping someone capable of making an impact that the world cannot ignore. When God chooses to elevate you, He does not simply grant wealth. He grants opportunity, visibility, and a platform for influence. Wealth becomes the magnet that draws attention, but it is your integrity, resilience, and purpose that hold it. The world will see your success, but they will feel the impact of your character. That is why your preparation has been meticulous, why every season of waiting, every challenge, and every moment of silence was necessary. You are being shaped to not only receive abundance, but to use it in ways that inspire, empower, and transform lives. Do not misunderstand what is happening in your life. Visibility is not vanity. Influence is not arrogance. and wealth is not the measure of your worth. They are tools. Tools meant to carry your message further. Tools meant to amplify the impact of your faith and discipline. The world responds to what is visible, but it is transformed by what is authentic. This is why the trials, delays, and overlooked seasons were critical. They strengthened your character, built endurance, and fortified the spirit that will now carry your purpose without compromise. Consider the power of human psychology. People follow examples of possibility. When someone rises above adversity, demonstrates discipline, and carries themselves with integrity, others begin to believe that they too can overcome, achieve, and transform. Your life is about to become that example. Your wealth will make the world look, but your authenticity and faith will make them pause, reflect, and be inspired. Every eye on you will witness not only success, but proof that God's timing, faithfulness, and alignment are unstoppable forces. Your journey has prepared you for the responsibility that comes with prominence. Influence without wisdom can be destructive. Visibility without purpose can be hollow. That is why your unseen struggles were vital. They shaped judgment, cultivated patience, and instilled discernment. When abundance arrives, you will not be swept away by the attention or overwhelmed by opportunity. You will stand firm, using every resource, every connection, and every platform for a purpose far greater than personal gain. You are being positioned not just to be seen, but to be impactful. Fear will attempt to undermine your readiness. It will whisper that you are unqualified, that visibility will expose inadequacy, and that responsibility is too great. Do not listen. Faith does not simply eliminate fear, it equips you to rise despite it. The strength built during your preparation, the lessons learned in struggle, and the endurance forged in delay have readied you for this moment. You are not stepping into wealth blindly. You are stepping into alignment, fully equipped to carry influence that inspires transformation. Let this truth sink deeply. Your introduction to the world is not temporary or superficial. It is deliberate, strategic, and transformative. Wealth will place you in a position of visibility, but purpose will define your legacy. Those who witness your rise will see beyond success. They will see evidence that perseverance, faith, and alignment with God can break barriers, rewrite stories, and ignite hope. Your moment is imminent, and when it arrives, the world will not only see you, they will be forever changed by what your life demonstrates, about the power of preparation, alignment, and divine destiny. Wealth in God's hands is more than material gain. It is a signal, a platform, and a catalyst for transformation. When He places abundance in your life, it is meant to draw attention. But what the world will ultimately see is your purpose, your integrity, and the character that has been forged through every trial. The abundance you are about to receive will not merely be a resource, it will be a reflection of the growth, endurance, and alignment that you have cultivated in the unseen seasons. People will notice the success, but they will be inspired by the journey that prepared you to handle it wisely. Every moment of struggle, every period of waiting, and every challenge you have faced has been part of your preparation. The world measures success by speed and visibility, but God measures it by readiness, character, and alignment with destiny. You are being shaped to step into influence, not by chance, but by divine orchestration. When wealth arrives, it will not overwhelm you because you have been fortified. It will not define you because your identity has already been secured in purpose. It will amplify you because every part of your being has been aligned to carry impact that lasts beyond material gain. Psychology shows that people are drawn to examples of possibility. When they see someone rise despite opposition, persist despite delay, and achieve despite doubt, they begin to believe in their own potential. Your life is about to become that example. The abundance in your hands will make the world look, but your character, your faith, and your vision will make the world stop and listen. Every eye on you will witness not just prosperity, but proof that perseverance, alignment, and trust in God create transformation that no obstacle can prevent. Responsibility accompanies visibility. Influence without wisdom can be destructive. Prominence without purpose can be hollow. That is why every unseen trial, every late night prayer, every moment of patience has been essential. They have built discernment, instilled resilience, and cultivated a heart capable of carrying both wealth and responsibility. When the doors open and the world takes notice, you will not be unprepared. You will be ready to lead, inspire, and transform, using every resource and every opportunity to create impact that matters. Fear will attempt to whisper lies about your readiness. It will suggest that you are not enough, that you will falter under scrutiny, and that responsibility is too heavy to bear. Reject these lies. Faith does not remove pressure. It equips you to rise through it. The strength built in waiting, the lessons learned in struggle, and the endurance forged in adversity have prepared you for this exact moment. You are not stepping into wealth by accident. You are stepping into alignment, fully equipped to carry influence that sparks hope, inspires action, and transforms lives. Let this truth anchor your spirit. Your introduction to the world is deliberate, strategic, and transformative. Wealth will place you in the spotlight, but purpose will define your legacy. Those who witness your rise will see more than success. They will see a living testimony that perseverance, alignment, and faith can overcome every obstacle. Your moment is coming. When it arrives, the world will not only see your abundance, they will feel the impact of your life and be inspired to pursue the alignment, courage, and purpose that made your rise inevitable.